All right, I guess we're back, y'all. Woo, that was cray cray. Let's see if
Are we
everybody
back?
can. Let's see if everybody can hear us. If
There's
we're
nobody here.
on,
It's just us.
is it
It's
just
all
us?
right.
Oh, there's three
Hell
watching.
yeah.
It says so. We do have some people watching. Man, we've had a lot of technical issues tonight, guys. I see
Holy
Jeanette
shit.
there. Okay, so everybody can hear us. We are ready. We're just gonna start this show over again. How does that sound, everybody?
We're going to start all over again, guys.
All right, let's
Nothing
play
has
the
happened.
intro. We're playing the intro. Here it goes.
We're starting 93.
All right, here we go.
Right and
All
around.
right, everybody, we are
uh,
back. I think we have audio on everybody.
ooh,
Welcome
ooh.
to Frightmare HQ. This is 1993, the year in horror. My name is Loyd Cryer, and today I am here with
It's Carlos Blueberry, the
what's
one and
up,
only man with the
Carlos?
plan.
How's it going?
You know, I'm hanging out here. I've been having these weird flashbacks. Like we already did a lot of this stuff. I think I've drank too much, and so the good part with that is I feel like, I'm kind of prepared for the first couple of movies. So you're not going to catch me off guard. So it's good. It's very good though. I'm
and
hanging
there
out.
you go. That is correct. So, movie number one, starting out 1993, an evil,
93.
sadistic leprechaun goes on a killing rampage in search of his beloved pot of gold. Released January 8th, 1993.
I'm the
This is the
Leprechaun.
American horror comedy film Leprechaun, written and directed by Mark Jones
Leprechaun.
and starring Warwick
Leprechaun.
Davis. A film that
Got my
spawned
pots of
6
gold.
sequels and a reboot.
Leprechaun. Gold.
The luck of the Irish is being packed and shipped to a little town in South Dakota whose luck may have just run out.
Look at it's in the cabinets.
That's what I think about Leprechaun.
Do you love Leprechaun or what?
Leprechaun's probably the greatest movie that's ever been made. I sometimes wonder, why this movie is not shown to schools all over the world for children to understand what fine cinematic viewing is. It's an accurate portrayal, a true life story of the leprechauns. It's a biography about a little man who's just trying to make it in this world, and the white devil comes and steals his gold. And you know what? He looked at that man and he said, "Look, white devil, you white son of a bitch, that's my gold. I put it at the end of a rainbow, and that rainbow was my rainbow. You brought your white ass over to Ireland, you took my gold." And that's it. Leprechaun.
Okay, there you go. Well, we're back. That was Leprechaun. That's the Leprechaun trailer. We're back on, guys. Thank y'all for joining us. Charles, what is the next movie on the list?
Man, this is about a man. A man and a teenage girl try to hunt down a serial killer who murdered the girl's parents. He killed him. He's not a leprechaun, though. I wish he was. That'd make a great movie. But this was released in Italy March 12th, 93. It's an Italian giallo film called Trauma, directed by Dario Argento and starring his daughter, Asia Argento.
Much of what I do comes from dreams. Nicolas. From the dark side of dreams. From the dark side of human nature. Dario Argento's Trauma.
Some other soul is here with us tonight.
The recent dead.
It will draw you in. Hold you down.
Don't be afraid.
And pull you apart.
Whose face? You saw him.
Because someone is watching.
And your friend may be in real danger.
Someone is waiting.
Were they lovers?
Lovers. Someone who knows the past cannot be forgotten.
They were decapitating.
The severed heads of all 7 headhunter victims were found in the trunk of his car.
And never forgiven.
She's not here. They just came and took her away.
Aura, you're all alone now.
Christopher Rydell, Asia Argento, Frederick Forrest, James Russo, and Piper Laurie. In Dario Argento's maddening thriller, Trauma.
All right, Dario Argento's Trauma. What do you say, Charles? Is this one you love, or? I'm kind of wondering too, but I think we're good.
So Trauma. Trauma's not a bad movie. You know, I don't mind watching Trauma. I think the glaring thing over your head while watching Trauma is it's not a very good Dario Argento movie. That's kind of, you know, you have these expectations of what you want from an Argento movie. This one is, it's kind of like Argento light. It's like Argento less calories. It was one of only 2 movies he filmed in the U.S. The other one being Two Evil Eyes, the anthology with Romero. And there was a lot of pressure from Overseas Film Group, who was the U.S. production company, to make something very much marketable to the U.S. audiences. And so they had him tone down the gore, because Tom Savini was the effects artist on this movie, and Tom Savini had a lot of elaborate effects kind of built and planned for this, and most of them were scrapped. And as well, that U.S. production company would not let him use Goblin for the score because they felt like their music was not marketable. So they got an old tried and true favorite, who is Pino Donaggio, who's normally pretty good, but his score is not very good for this. It's one of my least favorites of his scores. And outside of that, I mean, the movie itself is pretty good. It's an entertaining movie. Piper Laurie is really good in it. Brad Dourif appears in it, but there's just a lot of things where you feel like it's not really our Argento movie. That's kind of what I get from it.
Yeah. I feel you on that. It does kind of feel like that, right?
Yeah. It's Argento light, like I said. Like you brought out, 0 calories, 0 sugar, Argento.
Love it. Tasty Argento.
Are you watching your figure? Well, try a new glass of Argento light. Argento light's here to make sure that your days are strong, but also not hard on the waistline.
Argento light.
Argento light.
Lovely. Well, the next one looks like it's mine.
Oh yeah, baby, get it.
Okay,
Get
a
it.
writer's fictional alter ego wants to take over his life at any price. Released April 23rd, 1993, it's the American psychological horror film The Dark Half, written and directed by George Romero, based on Stephen King's 1989 novel of the same.
Thad Beaumont has a secret.
I know all about it.
A piece of himself he keeps hidden,
You just don't want to give up George. You become attached to him.
locked away until he needs it.
These behaviors could be interpreted as schizophrenia.
A way safe in the shadows.
I wrote those words, and I have no recollection of doing it.
But sometimes secrets take on a life of their own. Thad Beaumont thought he didn't need George Stark anymore.
The American way of death.
That's it.
He served his purpose. Time to lay him to rest. But George is not about to go quietly.
You really don't realize what you're like when you write those books, do you? It's like watching Jekyll turn into Hyde.
We're here to question you in connection with a capital crime.
Evidence says you did it.
George Stark has somehow come to life.
Hello, George.
I can come closer to believe a ghost story than this. You're talking about a man who never was.
He wants to take over your life. Can't you see that?
Based upon a book by Stephen King, comes George A. Romero's masterful vision of a nightmare come true.
Are you ready? Just waiting on you.
The Dark Half.
All right, Charles. I like this one, and it's not just because I'm a George Romero fan. I thought this was a good movie.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, I love the Dark Half. I think, I think Dark Half is one of the better Stephen King adaptations, and I think it's one of the most underrated George Romero films. It wasn't very well received at the time it came out because I think it was a little bit ahead or even over the heads of a lot of the public at that time. It wasn't kind of what they wanted. It's a super intelligent film, really unnerving movie. Kind of really showcases how fantastic George Romero was. A lot of his directorial skills kind of come out in this movie.
Yeah. Was this the first time that, well, I'm not going to say, was it the first time in Land of the Dead that George actually brought back an actor? How many times has he brought back? Because I know Robert Joy is in this. That's where I'm going with all this. Robert Joy is in this, and then Robert was also in Land of the Dead. I'm trying to remember. I know he used Galen twice, Creepshow, and...
well, John Amplis had a bit part in...
Okay,
John Amplis had a bit part in Martin and Dawn of the Dead. He not a whole lot though. Not really in kind of larger roles. A lot of times he brings in new people. So like Galen's kind of with the big ones because she had kind of a larger role in both, but not kind of a common thing.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So really, there's only like three actresses that he brought back more than once.
Yeah, Joe Pilato was in Dawn and Day, but he's in Dawn only if you watch one of the longer cuts. He's one of the policemen at the dock.
That's true. Okay, so he did that more often than I was thinking.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not like not like huge roles or anything. He always had his people that were kind of with him. Definitely like the Dark Half. Dark Half. It is streaming on Prime Video. Kind of a hard movie to get. The Scream Factory version of it's out of print, but there actually is. It's kind of funny because this is why I champion you guys to buy a region free player, because people, for some reason, buy the out of print Scream Factory Blu-ray that's for like $80 on eBay, but there is a there's a region B from the UK you can import for $12. That's the exact same Scream Factory movie. It's just a different company. It's the same print, everything. So get yourself a region free player and save yourself money in the long run.
Yeah, I recommend that too.
All right. But Dark Half's good. I mean, Christopher Young did an awesome score in this as well. He's a great composer. Really, this and Hellraiser are his two greatest scores in my opinion. He's a really great composer, but man, the score in this is so unnerving. It's like piano key music. It really works well. Love the Dark Half though. I like Romero. It's not just because I love Romero. I do love Romero, but really solid made film. Some of the effects towards the end don't really hold up so well, 27 years later, but still a fun watch. It really is.
It is, and I love the story behind all of that. I think it's a really intriguing story. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Very true. Very enjoyable, though. So, yeah. Do it to it, guys. Do it to it. And I said it is on streaming on Prime Video. So, if you got Prime, it's the only place it's streaming. You can rent it for $4 on Vudu, too. So, there's that.
Sweet. All right, Charles. You've got
What's
another
next?
one that I really like coming up.
Oh, that's a good one. A group of people on an army base discover that something is taking possession of the minds and bodies of the people they once knew and loved. It first premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, May 15th, 1993. It's the American sci-fi horror film Body Snatchers, directed by Abel Ferrara, very loosely based on the 1955 novel The Body Snatchers by Jack Finney, and it was the third adaptation of that novel to film.
Exactly. So, this is one that I couldn't get to download. I think this is the only trailer I couldn't get. I think I got every one of the other ones, but we'll just go ahead and talk about Body Snatchers since we don't have that. I like all the Body Snatchers movies, from the original all the way up to Invasion, that came out a few years ago. I like all of these Body Snatcher films.
Yeah. I think this one was really well done. I am a fan of Abel Ferrara. He did some interesting things, but we talked about him in 1979 Year in Horror of doing one of my favorites, The Driller Killer.
Yep.
He's a fun director. He's got an interesting style. Some other stuff he did, like King of New York, or some fantastic movies. But Body Snatchers was screenplay was written by Stuart Gordon, so he was one of the people who did the screenplay for this. And there was a time where he was really loosely in talks to direct this, and I really think a Stuart Gordon directed Body Snatchers movie would have been a phenomenal film. I love this movie, but I always think in my head, what the hell Stuart Gordon would have done with Body Snatchers, because that would have been something really off the wall.
Mm-hmm. So Meg Tilly is in this, and Christine Elise is in this, which makes Christine someone who's worked with both of the Tilly sisters.
There you go. That's
Look
fun.
at that. 6 degrees of Meg Tilly.
6 degrees of Meg Tilly. I also love Arlie Emery in this. Arlie Emery appears in this, doing what he does. He's General Platt. He's just the same role, but love Arlie Emery. This didn't do too well in theaters at all.
Yeah, I remember that.
It lost a lot of money. This movie cost like $15 million to make, and it only made like $400,000.
Wow.
And Warner Brothers, for some reason, towards the release date, really pulled it from release and only released it to a handful of theaters. But it got a nice following on VHS, the VHS era this time. And it's a really well-made movie. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And a pretty cool cast. Like we've already mentioned a couple. Arlie Emery, Meg Tilly, Christine Elise, but you also had Forrest Whitaker, Billy Wirth, and Gabrielle Anwar was in this movie too.
Yeah, really great one. This is streaming on a service called Fubo. Fubu. I don't know why. That's what it's called. There actually is a pretty decent Blu-ray of this for $18 on Amazon. It's a studio release Blu-ray. Again, I don't like studio release Blu-rays because they don't really do any remastering to them. They just kind of throw them out on disc. But it's a pretty well transfer. One thing I think is funny on this movie is, for some reason, this was released theatrically in Mexico as Body Snatchers, but for some reason when this came out to video in Mexico, they titled it Body Snatchers 3. So I guess a play on a third adaptation. I don't know. Maybe 3 sounded cooler. Who knows? But we're going to start calling it Body Snatchers 3. That's the new title of it.
Okay. And the Invasion is Body Snatchers 4? Is that right?
That's Body Snatchers 4. They all compare. They're all the same movie.
Okay. Well, that settles that, Charles. Body Snatchers 3.
Yeah, it's a fun movie though. It's a movie from '93, so movies around this time all kind of had that made-for-TV feel. This one has it too. It's something you couldn't get around this time. Almost every studio release movie that was kind of lower budget had that feeling to it. I don't know, but I like this one, and I haven't seen it in a while. I do have the Blu-ray of it, and I could probably go back and watch it. So
I think you should. I think it's a decent entry into that whole body snatchers thing, saga or whatever you want to call it.
Lloyd, can you snatch my body?
You know it, Charles. I'm going to snatch up to the next title. A mysterious device designed to provide its owner with eternal life resurfaces after 400 years, leaving a trail of destruction in its path.
That sounds spooky.
Sounds what?
Spooky.
Spooky.
Scary.
Also premiered first at the Cannes Film Festival on May 17th, 1993. It's the Mexican Gothic body horror film Cronos, written and directed by Guillermo del Toro and starring Ron Perlman.
Oh, still on the pub.
All right, Cronos. You always know it's going to be a foreign language film when the trailer has no dialogue.
Yeah. I was telling Lloyd that like some variation of that orchestral music is used in like 70% of trailers in the 90s for horror movies.
Yeah.
They're just like horror movie.
Horror movie. Like, this is a horror movie.
Horror flick. Cronos is a very imaginative film. I don't think it's really a horror movie per se. If you break it down, it does a good job putting up a charade as a horror movie. It's very charade. It's like, I'm spooky, I'm a horror movie, but I'm not. I'm a fantasy movie. Oh, that's kind of what it does. But it's an interesting take on vampire lore. Really mesmerizing screenplay, really well done. And the cinematography in this movie is so striking. It's so beautiful. Guillermo Navarro was a cinematographer. Really talented cinematographer out of Mexico who he would go on to win an Oscar for Pan's Labyrinth, a really similar style film. And he also shot, after this, he worked for a while with Tarantino and Rodriguez. He shot From Dusk Till Dawn, Desperado. Then he did Hellboy, won an Oscar. For some reason, he decided he wanted to be cinematographer on some of the Twilight movies. And then he just kind of disappeared. So, I don't know. There's that. But Cronos is a phenomenal film. Super, like I said, super original, super inventive storyline. Guillermo del Toro writes and directs this. And, he's one of the best filmmakers of the last like 25 years. So really great early work from him.
It is. It's very early. I'm not even familiar. If you look at his IMDb, I don't even know what the shorts before and this series, Ora Marcada, whatever, however you pronounce it. I'm not even familiar with those. So I guess this is really the first time I had ever encountered him. And of course, when I saw this movie years ago, I had no idea who Guillermo del Toro was going to become. I just knew this as the movie Ron Perlman's in. The strange movie that Ron Perlman's in. Was he dubbed in this in Spanish, or can he really speak Spanish? Because he sounds really convincing in the movie.
I don't think he was dubbed, so I don't think he was dubbed at all.
Yeah.
But this really is the directorial debut of Guillermo del Toro. He wouldn't do anything again until '97's Mimic. And Mimic's another interesting movie, but this kind of got him over to kind of a yo-yo, because this got him to Hollywood to kind of do Mimic. And then from Mimic, he wasn't really big in the Hollywood thing, and kind of went back to do like Devil's Backbone. Then went back to do Blade 2, and he's just like always bouncing around. So, but this is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't think a lot of people have. It is a Criterion film, but it's streaming on HBO Max and the Canopy channel. The Criterion Blu-ray is really good for this, but man, Criterion Blu-rays are expensive. This one's like $30. Kind of a lot. It's kind of worth it for this movie, but if this movie is not for everybody, you'll know if this movie is for you, because if you like Pan's Labyrinth, you like these really strange Guillermo del Toro movies, you'll absolutely love this movie. It's fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's not one of my favorite movies, but it's pretty to watch. It looks great. Yeah, it's gorgeous, but it's kind of slow and a little boring in places. Let's say that.
Yeah, it's not an easy story. It is a little slow. There's a lot going on, but there's kind of a lot going on. Then it's just like, ooh, I slow.
Yeah,
it's like woo,
grinding halt.
It's like, oh, I slow now. So
no, but I definitely recommend checking it out one time if you've never seen it. You just kind of have to be in that mood to know that it's a movie that you're gonna have to make it over a couple of slow bumps in. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'd really, if you're in the mood for something artsy fartsy, you want something beautiful to watch, this is a good one. Like I said, the cinematography in it is fantastic. So go for it, do it, because you're an adult and you can do whatever you want. Per Charles and Loyd.
There you go. So next up is something completely different from Cronos.
Oh man,
greatest movie ever made in 1993. I don't know about that.
This is probably the greatest movie made in like the last 40 years. All right.
There you go.
A group of teenagers on a California wilderness retreat are unaware that the woods they are camping in have become infested. Infested by what? Well, it's infested by mutated blood-sucking ticks. This first premiered at the Dylan Dog Horror Fest in Italy on June 4th, 1993. It's the American sci-fi horror film Ticks, directed by Tony Randall, also known as Infested.
Come get your bags, guys.
This place looks worse than the projects.
It started out small.
It's got measles bumps.
It's a tick. Vampires of the insect world.
A part of Mother Nature's wonder.
What's so inspiring about bugs and insects and snakes?
But then they grew.
Don't move. There's something on your back.
Get off now!
And grew.
Just don't touch it if you don't know what it is.
Don't touch it, it attacked me.
Unimaginable.
Ticks do not get this big.
Unthinkable. Unbelievable.
There's a huge fire and a whole bunch of those tick things headed this way.
Where civilization ends The nightmare begins.
Everybody get upstairs! Go! Go, go, go!
Ticks. It's not nice to mess with Mother Nature.
It's not nice to mess with Mother Nature or giant ticks.
I think Chrissy Gillian summed this one up right. She said it's ridiculous and fun. That's kind of what it is.
It's ridiculous and fun. It is. But what we should be focusing on is Peter Scolari. Did you ever watch Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks, Charles?
Yep.
He's in this movie too. So we got to talk about Peter Scolari. I used to love Bosom Buddies. I thought that was the funniest show.
Bosom Buddies?
Did you ever see that?
I mean, I've seen that. But I mean, he was also in Camp Nowhere too. Don't forget about Camp Nowhere, Lloyd.
How can I forget it if I've never heard of it?
Exactly. It's going to change your life. You're my suburban girl, you know that?
Yeah, exactly. Amy Dolenz is in this as well. Isn't she like one
Alfonso
of the Monkeys
Ribeira's
kids
in this.
or something?
Alfonso Ribeira's in this, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. As an only child, she was the daughter of Mickey Dolenz. That's what I thought. So we got Clint Howard, the daughter of a monkey.
Okay. We got Carlton from Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. Also the Michael Jackson dancing kid.
Okay.
From the Pepsi commercials.
We got one of the bosom buddies.
A bosom buddy. We got Rance Howard, Clint and Ron Howard's father.
We got Scott Evil in this. We got Seth Green.
Seth Green, yeah.
I mean, basically, this is the greatest movie that's ever been made, guys. That's kind of what we're leading up to.
It's the best. Absolutely the best film. No, it's silly and fun. That's what Ticks is.
It kind of is, and this movie was meant to be fun. This movie at no time takes itself seriously while you're watching it. There's no point it takes itself seriously, and this is literally like looking at what a 1950s B movie would have been if they were into gore in the 50s. That's kind of what this is.
Yeah, it's very true. And ticks are just gross already, so there you go.
Ticks were gross. Tony Randall directed this. Tony Randall previously did Hellraiser 2, and this is like the polar opposite of Hellraiser 2. Like, there is no similarity in these movies whatsoever. So,
I was just reading, let's see. Travis Brown said Peter Scolari was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV series. Did he play the Rick Moranis? Was he the Rick Moranis
That's
character?
what he was in. Yeah, Travis, you're right. I was trying to remember what he was in. It was driving me nuts. And it was the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids TV show. He was Wayne Stilinski.
Peter Scolari. That's a blast.
One of the Scolari brothers?
Yeah,
Tried him for murder.
Well, that's what everybody thought, but, he got off of that on that charge, so it's good.
Just like you did.
Chrissy Gilliland said it's Seth Green. He's incapable of being serious, so you already know it's worth it. That's great.
Can you imagine Seth Green if he was cast in a movie like Schindler's List or something?
Oh, my God.
That would have been interesting.
I can't imagine.
So,
what else can we say about Ticks, Charles? Come on, let's say
Well, Ticks is Ticks. Kind of actually a really difficult movie to find. It is streaming on Vudu free with ads. It's a really shitty quality copy, though. There was a Blu-ray released in 2013 that for some reason is $100 on eBay now, out of print. You can't get this internationally anywhere. So your only choice of getting a really nice 1080 HD copy of this is to pay $100 for the Blu-ray from all the films. Which I would say, go ahead and do it, because why the hell not? I mean, we've got a bosom buddy. We've got We got Carlton from Fresh Prince. We got Ron Howard's dad. I mean, it's worth it.
We got Clint
Everybody's
Howard.
In this movie. We got a monkey.
We got a monkey's daughter. Yeah.
Does
Amy Dolan.
This is a $100 movie written all over it, guys. This is a straight up $100 movie. So, really though, a lot of fun. Even the poster for this with the face with the bug coming at it is super 1950s. Great movie though. Really, if anything, jump on Vudu, watch it with ads. It's not the best quality copy, but it's probably a better way to watch it anyway. So
yeah, I recommend Ticks. I hadn't heard of it. I had not heard of it until I don't know. I guess it was in the 90s, and you could never. The VHS was impossible to find too. It was commanding big money as well, and then the Blu-ray came out, and now we got the same problem. So I don't know, guys.
Even now, the VHS is still really collectible. If you find a VHS and it's in good shape, the VHS is like $50-$60. The Blu-ray's $100. It's a desirable movie. It's one that's not been actively released, and it's worth a watch.
Yeah. I do want to mention that Ingrid Hubert is with us tonight on Twitch. Thank you for joining us, Ingrid. Ingrid hasn't been feeling too well lately, so let's all send positive healing vibes out to Ingrid. We love you, Ingrid.
We do love Ingrid. All right.
Awesome. So let's move on to the next one. A distraught teen uses an army chemical to revive his girlfriend after she's killed in a motorcycle accident because she's to die for.
Ooh.
Also first premiered at the Dylan Dog Horror Film Festival in Italy on June 5th, 1993. Somebody already guessed it on Twitch.
Good job.
It is the American romantic horror film Return of the Living Dead 3, directed by Brian Yuzna.
They vowed to stay together forever, that their love would never die. But their pledge remained untested.
Oh, cool. No problem. I'm the boss's son, remember?
Until they went looking for a thrill and stumbled on the chilling fact.
Let's proceed.
That even the dead can go on living.
He came back to life. We gotta get out of here.
And tonight, fate will put their promises to the test.
Oh my God.
Now that she's dead, he's frightened to live without her. But bringing her back is terrifying.
Oh, God, Kurt, that was incredible. Let's do it again.
Contain it, damn it! Seal it off now!
Is that what I'm gonna become?
These poor dead bastards crave brains. She bit me. She gave you something bad.
It feels so hungry.
Never find you down here. What have you done?
If she attacks him, he becomes like her.
I just get a little confused sometimes.
Love never dies.
Okay, Return of the Living Dead 3, Charles. This basically, this was kind of a turning point in the tone for this series. I think basically what we have is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. And it's definitely a lot more serious than the previous two.
Yeah. Brian Yuzna really took it back to the horror roots. You know, he didn't continue the slapstick zombie comedy that was the first two. He really tried to turn this back into, you know, more of a horror film with a little slight tinge of dark humor to it. And I think it worked really well. You know, despite being the third in a series, it doesn't really relate to the other two at all. And The script from John Penny is actually a pretty outstanding. I think this could have easily been a standalone film by itself.
Yeah. Really, the only thing that they carry over is that they're using that gas to try.
Yeah.
We found out that this gas reanimates, corpses. So we might as well just try this. Let's go ahead and just try it and see what happens.
I've got gas that reanimates corpses too, and you don't see me flaunting around town. So.
Yeah, I think you mean it. You've got gas that makes people into corpses.
It does both, actually.
It kills them and then brings them right back to life. All right.
Why do you think I've been locked in my office for a week, man? Half the city's dead over here. So.
Well, not to cut off your flatulence talk, but I do want to talk about.
I bet you do, stud.
About Melinda Clarke, because we've been trying to get her for quite a while, and we finally were able to book her for the upcoming show this May 2021, or April, May. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love Melinda Clarke, and I love how she plays herself on the show Entourage. So it's so great. She's just herself. And... yeah, I'm happy to meet her. I actually like this. Like I said, I like this movie. The practical effects in it are fun. Brian Hughes is a good director. We mentioned him before. He directed Society back in '89. He also directed Bride, a Reanimator. So, got kind of a similar tonality. He kind of took his career backwards because he actually started as a producer, then kind of became a director. Normally, it's the opposite. Because he produced a lot of Stuart Gordon's movies like Reanimator and Dolls and From Beyond. Then he kind of decided to become a director and took on Bride, a Reanimator and took this on. So, not for everybody. Some people don't like this one. I personally like it. I think sometimes people think it's weird that it took a turn from the other two because it is a different tone. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I like this one because it's not completely a crap movie. I think that after this one, they all became crap. Wasn't there a 4 and a 5, Rave to the Grave, or something like that? Return of the Living Dead 4, Rave to the Grave, or
there was
something.
In space, and then there was on the moon, and then there was Return of the Living Dead, time traveling movie. There's all these movies. Abraham Lincoln was in one of them. All kinds of weird stuff.
That's funny. But I'm looking forward to having her at this show next year. I like I said, I've always I enjoy this movie. I think it's a fun flick, and it is. I mean, it's kind of a modern retelling of Romeo and Juliet, and then it's got some a lot of references to piercing culture and that kind of stuff, which kind of was the first of its kind, I think.
Very true, and. Like you said, a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, just like our show. That's what we have here.
The retelling of Romeo and Juliet, Charles.
I'm Juliet.
Good. I want to be Romeo this time.
Shit, yeah, you do, stud.
So, let's see what we got.
All right,
Ingrid Hubert just subscribed. Thank you for re-upping your subscription. It says, we got an emote thanks to Ingrid Hubert's subscription. So I don't know what that means, but I guess we got a new emote of some sort. So, yay.
Oh, man. Can it be a emote of a leprechaun? Because that would be amazing.
I can barely see it, but it looks like, somebody holding a heart or something. I don't know what's going on. But thank you for re-upping, Ingrid. That was awesome.
I'm sending you leprechaun dreams, Ingrid.
Me pots of gold, Lloyd. Let's talk about Leprechaun again. Let's go back.
Let's go back. Now let's go forward. The next one you've got is awesome.
Oh, this is a awesome fantastic movie. A very odd coroner introduces us to a trio of horror tales. This first aired on August 8th, 1993. It is the made-for-TV horror comedy anthology of Body Bags, with segments directed by John Carpenter and Toby Hooper, and starring John Carpenter as the kooky coroner. He's just kind of playing himself, so...
from John Carpenter. Something's coming.
Maybe I'll see you around.
I see things.
I think maybe I can help you.
Something strange.
Weird.
Gruesome.
Painful. Sexy.
Yes, yes!
When can we do it? Something shocking.
Your brains are the only food on which we can thrive.
What have you done to me? Something terrifying.
I have to finish digging your grave.
John Carpenter presents Body Bags. Coming this August. Only on Showtime.
Body Bags, guest starring Wes Craven and Roger Corman. Laugh track, please.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So, this is cool. Now, I think we once talked about this before, Charles. Didn't you say that this started out life as a series that they were considering or something?
Yeah, this actually was originally going to be Showtime's answer to Tales from the Crypt. John Carpenter was going to host it in like the Crypt Keeper type role, and it was going to be a 30-minute segment every week. And Showtime pulled the plug on the series, and basically what they filmed was reworked into this movie. So the 3 segments in this movie go to the 3 episodes that they filmed, and then the wraparound segment is kind of the segments they already filmed with John Carpenter and a little bit of filler put into them. And we had Body Bags. So kind of interesting because this was it was a Showtime original movie, which wasn't really a known thing back then. Nowadays, everybody has original movies on these pay channels, but it was a little different back then, you know?
Yeah. So you had basically what you missed if you haven't seen this is John Carpenter playing a Crypt Keeper type character who drinks martinis made of formaldehyde.
Yeah. His assistants are Tom Arnold and Toby Hooper playing his attendants, his little assistants.
Yeah.
And John Carpenter and Toby Hooper directed segments. Off my head, I can't remember which one did which. But
I can't either. I know Mark Hamill was in one of them, which
is
pretty cool.
Because John Carpenter, I think, directed 2 of them because that was the pilot for the show. He directed 2, and then Toby Hooper. And then they were eventually, it was going to kind of be like Masters of Horror. They wanted to get like Cronenberg to do one, and they were trying to bring in Romero to do one, and all these directors. And Showtime basically just didn't think it was going to be marketable, which is kind of odd at the time because Tales from the Crypt was still so hot then too. So
yeah,
but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, well, it was fun. I would have loved to have seen that incarnation of it, you know, as a series and have the Romero directed episode and all that. It would have been really neat, but what do? The people that write the checks did not make it happen.
That's true. And if they're writing the check and they don't want to write the check anymore, well, guess what? The check's not there, and you're like, all right, I'm out.
I'm out. Peace. No money, no job.
Peace up. No money. I'm out of here. But yeah, John Carpenter is so great as the coroner in this, though. He's just being John Carpenter. He's like, woo, I'm John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Woo, formaldehyde. Where's my formaldehyde? Here it is. Oh, I'm John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Making a movie. It's John Carpenter in a nutshell.
Pretty much. All right, well, let's move on to the next one. The next one, tracked down and blown to bits by special FBI task force. Everyone now assumes that the living, breathing essence of evil is finally dead, but he is back for one fierce final fling. Released August 13th, 1993. This is the American slasher film Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, directed by Adam Marcus.
Horror has many faces. Death wears many different masks. But pure evil wears only one. And this is your final chance to see it. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
All right, the creator of the original Friday returns to bring you the last. Haha, suckers.
You know, Adam Marcus, who directed this, was only 23 years old when he directed this goddamn movie. He was 23 years old. What have I done with my life? This guy was 23 years old. But hey, and really, if you want to add to that, he was the youngest director ever hired for a major studio for a film at that time. 23 years old, fresh out of film school. But guess what? His best friend was the son of who? Sean Cunningham. So guess what? If you know Sean Cunningham, guess what the hell's going to happen? You're going to make a movie, you know?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. It's Jason Goes to Hell.
So a lot of people give this movie a hard time because Jason is, I don't know, is he the killer or is he not? I mean, yeah, he is. He's the killer, but he's not in Jason's body. So I think
he's a Deadite.
He's a Deadite. So a lot of people give this a hard time. I not being one of them. I thought anytime I can get a Friday the 13th movie, I'm pretty happy. So, and it's got one of my favorite kills of all time. All time. You know which one it is?
The potato sack?
The potato sack?
the waffle?
The waffle. No, Charles. It's the scene where
the ice cream in the culo, the ice cream cone in the culo.
Yes, exactly. No, it's the one where he kills him with a fence post, a metal fence post through the tent and splits the girl in half. Now you have to watch the unrated version to see that. There are two versions of this. There's a rated R version and the unrated version. You have to watch the the unrated version. The rated R cuts out all the cool stuff.
Yeah, and technically, if we have to go back, this is not a Friday the 13th movie. You can't call it a Friday the 13th movie.
You're right.
Because, this was the first Jason movie not done by Paramount. Paramount took a huge loss on Jason Takes Manhattan, Friday the 13th Part 8, and they sold the rights of the character Jason Voorhees to New Line Cinema. The character. Part of the stipulations of their contract is you could not use the name Friday the 13th, which is why we have Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason, because they are not allowed to use Friday the 13th. I can say that other countries didn't care about that because they just renamed it Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell, because that was Spain, Germany, Serbia, Hungary, Japan, South Africa. They all just named it Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. But it's a weird movie. It really is. It's interesting.
It is. I will admit it's weird, but I don't know that whole scene that I just told you about, the kill scene with the metal fence post, that redeemed the whole movie for me. I love that scene. I think it's a great effect, and it was really gory.
Adam Marcus is crazy, and you could tell he was a young director, and he came up with the original rough storyline for this, but he worked all kinds of sneaky shit into this movie that only a 23-year-old son of a bitch would do, like tying Jason to Evil Dead by including the Necronomicon in the movie. Like, dude, why? Not only that, the Necronomicon in the movie is actually the one from Army of Darkness. It's the same prop. He got it from the effects artist, the effects studio who did Army of Darkness. They loaned it to him, so he's like, "Here you go."
Weren't they at one point I mean, because I know at the end of this movie, Freddy takes him into hell. You see Freddy's glove grab him. So wasn't that the goal? Didn't they want to do a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash? Isn't that what they wanted to do with this film?
Well,
or in the future?
I guess in the future. So the problem is, so he put the Necronomicon in this, but he could not say anything about Evil Dead because that's owned by Universal Studios.
Right.
Universal Studios doesn't own anything of the Necronomicon, though, so he could just put it in there and kind of insinuate that, hey, Jason's a Deadite, and this is all the same universe. And that's kind of what he was doing. But, you know, it's... Eventually, there was ideals for that, and even before Jason Goes to Hell, Sean Cunningham wanted to make Freddy versus Jason. That's what he was trying to make. Before New Line got the rights, he was trying to broker a deal with Paramount and New Line to do Freddy versus Jason, which basically the one that came out in like 2003 is pretty much the exact same story that he pitched like in 91.
Mm-hmm.
But people did want Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. But again, you've got a whole crap ton of studios that have to agree on something together. And that's why, even though Scream Factory fucked up the box set of all these movies a lot, it's still cool to see them all together because it's always been hard to get the Paramount and New Line movies together in the same damn releases.
Yeah.
And it was done before, but a lot of them, there's too much of those two companies trying to do a remaster of that. Now, none of them wanted to like loan out their originals because the other studio was involved. So the fact that Scream Factory got a lot of that stuff is awesome, but at the same time they still screwed it up. But you gotta live with what you got, you know.
Right.
I look for the positives.
I honestly don't think Freddy versus Jason versus Ash would have been a great film. I don't see it melding that well. Maybe it could have. Maybe it would have been fun, but I don't know. You're trying to combine slashers with horror, supernatural horror comedy.
Look,
so I'm not real sure, but I guess they could have come up with something, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound very appealing to me.
I would have done Freddy versus Jason versus Ash versus the Leprechaun versus Candyman versus Michael Myers, and it would have been set in space in the year 2987, and I would have written probably the greatest movie anybody would have ever seen. It would have been 6.5 hours long, and it would have been beautiful.
It would have been orgasmic.
Yeah, it would have changed the face of cinema for the next 100 years. The way
there
I would
you
have
go.
done it.
All right, you said it now. You've said a lot. I'm not sure what you've said, but I'll accept it.
Shit, I said it all. I'm gonna write that. All right, guys, we're gonna start filming this. I'm playing the Leprechaun, and Lloyd's playing all the other parts. All right.
All right, here we go. We're doing it. I'm Ash.
I'm the Leprechaun. How you doing, Ash? Do you have me pots of gold? Do you have me pots of gold, Ash?
Oh, eat this, bitch, Leprechaun. That's
I cut
Ash.
you, motherfucker. Leprechaun.
Oh my God.
Leprechaun. Oh, Leprechaun.
Put the box cutter away, Charles. You're out of control.
I play pogo stick all day long. Pogo stick. Leprechaun.
J.D. Smith DigiArtist said they were barely able to handle Freddy and Jason. That's true, so I would have watched
Just
it.
imagine.
Though. It would have probably been
Imagine my movie.
stupid, but I would have watched it.
You know, there actually was a pitch for Leprechaun versus Candyman. That was actually a movie that was in production, like pre-production, for a little bit.
Well,
that's no joke.
I would have watched that too. It would have been stupid, but I would have watched it.
It got pulled because Tony Todd was like, "Go fuck yourself." Basically.
I never knew that.
Yeah. Why not though? Let's just throw shit together. Why not? See what sticks.
All right, Charles. You've got another Stephen King film. Let's see if anybody knows what we're talking about. Second Stephen King film from '93, right?
Every movie made in the '90s was a Stephen King adaptation, so
pretty much.
A mysterious new shop opens in a small town, which always seems to stock the deepest desires of each shopper, with a price far heavier than expected. Released August 27th, 1993. It is the American dark drama horror film Needful Things. Directed by Fraser Heston. Based on Stephen King's novel of the same name. Of course it is, because why not?
Exactly. JD Smith Digi Artist got it on Twitch. I wasn't watching YouTube, but let's watch the trailer.
Nice.
Castle Rock Entertainment and Stephen King invite you to visit Castle Rock, Maine, a quiet little town whose population has just increased by 1.
Do you believe in the devil, Father? I guess I have to. You can't have one without the other. What's he look like? What the hell does he look like?
May I take this opportunity to welcome you to Castle Rock on the good Lord's behalf?
Why not?
So where are you from?
Ohio. I've been in this business a long time, and I've learned the pleasure of offering my customers what they really need.
He came here to destroy us.
Oh, you wussy.
There have been 2 murders and an attempted suicide in this quiet little town, and Mr. Leland Garner's at the bottom of it.
You are disgusting. I like that in a person.
Everybody that's got it coming is going to get it now.
The young carpenter from Nazareth. I knew him well. Promising young man. But he died badly. A famine here, a flood there, a little bloodlust, a broken heart. You can't win. I've got God on my side. Fun now. How is it going? I killed my wife. Is that wrong? Hey, these things happen.
Stream suspended for policy violations.
All right, so we are back. Policy violations.
What the fuck?
So we're off?
Yeah. Stream unavailable, stream suspended for policy violations. I've never seen that.
Must have been music, you think?
Never seen that. They've never shut us like that.
They did. They just...
What in God's name?
Huh. I knew we should have stopped tonight. That's weird. I wonder if we got an email about it.
We've done 40 shows. I've never seen that.
Well, I guess I'll end it. Okay. So we're still on Twitch, they said. So we're still live. So we can keep the show going. We're not sure what happened, but YouTube just shut us down for something. I have no idea.
We've done 50, 60 shows of this stuff with trailers, etc. I've never had any issues. We get copyright flags after the show every now and then. We just dispute them, but
yeah,
we've never been shut off for policy violations. So cool.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's definitely bizarre, but I guess we'll just finish this show and find out later. I'm gonna try to tell everybody on YouTube that we are still live on Twitch.
We're back now on YouTube.
We're back on YouTube?
Yeah, they just do it temporarily. This is great.
That is so bizarre. What a night, Charles. Woo! I'm loving it.
If you guys are wondering, don't ever play in the Hall of the Mountain King. All right? Don't ever play in the Hall of the Mountain King, because apparently it's the most copyright protected song in all of the existence of history.
That song is used on everywhere. Okay, so we're back on at YouTube. For those, we still had Twitch up. Twitch was working fine. It never went out. We were sitting here going, what in the hell's going on?
All right, guys.
Then all of a sudden...
I'm taking this as a sign that this is going to be the last Frightmare HQ show that we're ever going to do. It's over.
No.
It's over, guys.
It is not the last point.
I'm taking my bottle of wine and my box cutter and my Windex, and I'm leaving. All right, I'm gonna go start a new show called Wine Box Cutter Windex Happy Hour. I'm gonna play all the music.
This is bizarre.
I'm gone.
Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep it up. We're gonna keep on. I don't even remember. We just watched the Needful Things trailer, and
all right,
that's where we're at, guys. So
Needful Things, guys. Needful Things was a decent movie. The TV cut is a lot better movie. Let's just say that. The TBS version, which is only on TBS, which is an hour and 10 minutes longer, is so much better. So much more character development than the theatrical version. The version that should have been released to damn theaters is the TBS version. So,
yeah, and not this version because it screwed up our stream. No, I have no idea what just happened, y'all. But
I know what happened. It was a poltergeist. You son of a bitch! It was poltergeist. There's something on the wing.
Oh my god! All right, well that was fun. I don't know what else to call it other than fun.
There's a man on the wing of this plane.
Lovely. So,
you got a Needful Thing?
What do you guys want us to say about me? I'm kind of thrown. Charles. I mean, this is a little bit weird, but
Cover me, Timbers!
Oh, there's Popeye again.
Look, guys, don't ever play in the Hall of the Mountain King because bad things happen. All right, don't ever do it. It's apparently the song that shuts down the internet.
Exactly.
And it causes spooky things to happen. Scary. Listen to me, guys. I'm scary.
Scary, Charles.
Needful Things. I'm a Needful Things, boy.
Speaking of frightening, the next movie, an order of druids battle an evil warlock determined to unleash Satan upon the world by bringing 5 mystic stones together. Released September 24th, 1993.
Mystic stones. the plot sounds ridiculous.
It's mystic.
The mystic stones. Call me now. I'm the warlock. Call me now. The mystic stones will read your future. I gotta stop.
It's the American supernatural horror film Warlock, the Armageddon, directed by Anthony Hickox and starring Julian
the Warlock
Sands.
With a mission.
Warlock is here.
What does that command?
There are 5 stones. You must possess them all.
If he finds the stones of power, he'll hold destruction in the palm of his hand.
I've come for the stone.
It's not for sale. I never said anything about buying it.
He must be stopped before he destroys creation.
It is time.
Warlock, the Armageddon, rated R.
Hang on. All right, Warlock. The Stones of Mysticism starts September 24th. The Mystic Stones.
You know, I really enjoy the first Warlock, but man, the second one's like they just tossed out any hope of making a decent film. They're like, here's this really good screenplay we wrote. And they were like, no. We need this motherfucker to fly, and he's gonna have stones, and we're gonna have wizards, and we're gonna have lightning bolts. He's like, but I wrote a really good screenplay. The Warlock must fly. He must shoot with his fingers. Okay.
Warlock.
The
Mystic Stones, Part 16.
The Mystic Stones. Oh God!
I gotta admit to you, I've never seen this movie, Charles, because I don't know.
All right,
who cares about the Warlock? I don't care.
Julian Sands really holds these movies together. He's just so delightful. He's an enchanting man with his long, beautiful locks of hair.
He is. Is he an odd-looking guy? I've always wondered for chicks, is he an odd-looking guy or is he a hot dude?
Oh, he's a stud, man. I'd run my hands through his hair.
I don't know. I'm asking a question. You know,
screw your questions, man.
I want to know, man. I want the attendees to tell us right now. the attendees, the watchers.
The Julian Sands always, carries this movie. They use some computer effects in this that just look absolutely ridiculous nowadays. That was kind of like they don't even care they were making a movie. They're like, all right, guys. At one point, he's gonna come out. He's gonna draw a 6-shooter, but it's gonna be his fingers. He's gonna go. The guy's gonna be like, "Oh, he shot me." He goes, "All right, he's gonna fly. He's gonna fly. Yeah, he's gonna have mystic stones. How many stones? He's gonna have 4 stones. No, 5 stones. Oh shit!
Oh my God, 5 stones. David
What else can happen?
Dugas's
There's gonna be
wife
lightning.
David Dugas's wife says he's average, not bad looking. So, okay, I'm just curious. I don't know. He's got those beautiful golden locks of hair, so I was curious.
I spent a lot of time with Julian Sands as he's done the show, and he's always a nice guy.
You know what? I'll tell you something. Julian Sands is beautiful where it counts on the inside.
In the inside, I don't know. He told me a story. I can't remember. I was drinking with him, but he told me something about the Gestapo at one point. That's all I remember. So
really, I don't know. Julian is very awesome. He really is.
Yeah.
When I saw him at the last show, he just gave me a big giant hug, and I just wanted to just cradle in his bosom. That's what I wanted to do.
He's one of those people that always remembers your name too. I always like those people. He's like, "Hey, Charles." I'm like, "Oh, that's the fucking Warlock." He goes, "No, I'm Julian Sands." "Nah, you're the Warlock. It's all right. You're the Warlock. Come here, Warlock. Give me a hug."
Chrissy says his looks are a little too severe to be considered hot. Severe. So there you go.
That's
Sands.
Is that a compliment or is that a compliment or not?
Well, not hot. He's not a bad looking guy. That's what
is
you
he
say
a hottie or is he a naughty, Lloyd? Is he a hottie or a naughty?
Naughty. I don't think he's a naughty. He's just
Are
not
you
a
naughty?
hottie. He's
Are
more
you
of
naughty
a,
for me?
He's more of a he's all right. That's what I'm gathering from my scientific poll that I just put out there.
Gravy.
I like gravy.
Trust us.
Whatever.
We
Warlock,
invented electricity.
Warlock the Armageddon, whatever. I don't care. Let's move on.
In Italian, it was called Warlock, the Angel of the Apocalypse. That's a much better title. I would have
Okay, I like that better than the 5 Stones of Mysticism.
It should have been called, Warlock, the 5 Stones of Mysticism in the Sea of Tranquility of Lightning Bolts and Thunder. That's what I would have called it.
All right, guys, remember to email us your thoughts on Julian Sands' looks. We want to know what you think of every part of his body. Please let us know. We're waiting for your answers now.
Lloyd has some pictures of him that he acquired that he can show you of various parts of his body.
Yeah, if you want to see, compromising photos of Julian, just let us know.
I don't even know how you got those. I think you're a voyeur. I think you're a peeping Tom, you son of a bitch.
I'm a peeping something. All right, Charles, you gotta go to the next one. I haven't seen this one. I have no idea what this movie's about.
A mad scientist.
Well, according to the title, I do know what it's about.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
A mad scientist's new vitamin pill causes horrific side effects in its suburbanite consumers. First premiere at the Sitges Film Festival, October of '93. It's the Australian satirical body horror film, Body Melt, directed by Philip Brophy. Brophy.
Welcome to Terra's new dead end.
The first phase is hallucinogenic. The second phase is glandular. The third phase is...
Body Melt.
He was one healthy dude. Unnaturally healthy. Now I'm talking new drugs here, right? I'm talking 90s, man. Cognition enhancers. Designed to take your mind into new intra-phenomenological dimensions.
In Sleepy Pebbles Court, something deadly is happening.
All format build. Target number 1. One by one. Mobile family. They're dying. Now system and inner organ to be prepared. Cheryl and Brian ran positive pregnancy. Because nothing can prepare you for the horror.
Up until their birth, babies are the ultimate parasite.
The madness.
Something is wrong.
The fury.
What is this?
A new age of human potential has dawned. Body melt. Pray they don't visit your street.
Done any good drugs lately?
All right, Charles, I told you I've never seen this movie, and now it's up to
All
you.
right.
The fate of the world is in your hands. Should I see this movie?
No,
and
well,
go.
Body Melt is not that good of a movie. Let me just preface it by that. The reason why you want to watch this movie is the overwhelmingly sensational practical effects by Bob McCarran and his team. He's a fantastic prosthetic artist who just came off doing Dead Alive in '92, and the effects in this are so great. Every shot of this is like something that could be at like the front page of Fangoria back in the day. And that's really the main reason to watch this. The story, all right, the story's not very good. The acting is not very good. The cinematography is not very good. The set design's not very good. The audio's not very good. I could keep going, but it's pure body horror, and it is a fantastic watch just for the really great practical effects in this one. And that's what I could tell everybody on that one.
It's been something
Vinegar
I've
Syndrome
wanted
brought
to
it out.
see. Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome brought it out.
It's on Prime Video right now, so it is streaming on Prime. So it's worth a watch on Prime to check out the really good practical effects from the team of Bob McCarran in this one.
Sweet. Well, I would probably check it out for that. But it's Australian. Do they speak Australian that English-speaking people can understand?
Yeah, you can understand it enough. Jesus.
I don't have to
I
speak
can
Australian.
I can understand with a strip on a barber, you know?
Exactly. So I don't have to speak Australian to be able to watch this, right?
I mean, it's Australian for beer. I know that.
There you go. So, Mr. 80s 1224, there's your answer. Yes, according to Charles, streaming on Prime Video right now or on Tubi with ads. So,
yep.
If you don't have Prime, you can get it on Tubi absolutely free of cost to you today. Oh, excuse me.
Jesus, Lloyd.
I didn't mean to do that. So, what do we got next, Charles? This is a little film about, and here's the synopsis. After the death of her father, a girl travels to an island to find out why he funded a monastery there. Her father funded a monastery. First released in Russia in November 1993, it is the UK Russian, supernatural gothic horror film Dark Waters, directed by Mariano Bono, also known as Dead Waters, on the U.S. home video release.
For those who are blind shall see the true face of the beast, and forever suffer it in their soul.
Rejoice in the triumph of sorrow.
All right. Mariano Bono's Dark Waters, Charles. There's some evil going down at the monastery.
Yeah, Dark Waters is truly an impressive film. I think it's one everybody should see. It really feels like a 70s giallo film, very Argento-esque. It's a really unique film, really creepy atmosphere in it. It's not for everyone. The movie basically has no dialogue, very little dialogue. Story is only moved along by a lot of the weird imagery that's going on. And the story is kind of pushed by what the nuns are doing. And, any movie that can impact you really with no dialogue should really kind of speak to the presence it's had. This really is a beautiful movie. It's kind of an interesting movie that it was shot in the Ukraine. And it was one of the first films out of UK to be filmed there since the fall of the Soviet Union. So the movie itself had a lot of issues during filming and post-production due to the political unrest in Ukraine and Russia. And I can't remember the name of it. There's a biography with this director, and it kind of goes over some of the stuff that went on during then. But
is it In the Belly of the Beast?
You're the Belly of the Beast. I can't remember his name. It didn't sound like that.
Okay. That's another. I think that's another. I know that's another one that he's in. Another documentary, but that Nacho Serta and Richard Stanley and Mitch Davis and Tony Timpone are all in that one.
Yeah, and after this, Mano was hailed as being one of the next great directors, but he never did another movie, just some short films. So it's kind of interesting play for him. But I really like this movie a lot. Like I said, it's a beautiful piece. It's really art house, though. You have to be in the right mood to watch this. Mm-hmm. This is not a play on your phone kind of movie while you watch it. You have to just really be, focused on it. Stephen Burt said, I think it's Severin. It actually is Severin. Severin brought this one out. Severin released a Blu-ray in 2017. This one is streaming on Tubi with ads. I would highly recommend not watching this movie with ads, though, whatsoever. This is not a movie to watch with ads. And the best way to watch it is that Severin Blu-ray. So,
yeah, I can't imagine watching that movie with ads.
Yeah, it'll completely throw you off. If you think it's hard to watch, try to watch it with ads. It'll just completely throw off what you're trying to watch.
All right, Charles. Despite the forces of evil, we have come to that moment where we do the very last film on our list.
What's going to happen when we do it?
I don't know, but we might as well try it and make sure or hope for the best. What do you think?
I don't want to. I'm really scared.
Shut up. Whoa. Yes,
calm
the
down.
last movie is Jurassic Park, Mr. 80s, 1224.
Yeah,
pardon
Jurassic
me.
Park.
That one came out the wrong end.
Journey into the pit of hell with 3 tales from horror master H.P. Lovecraft. This first premiered at the London Film Festival, November 19th of 1993. It's the French-American anthology horror film, The Necronomicon, starring Jeffrey Combs with his H.P. Lovecraft, also known as H.P. Lovecraft's Necronomicon, also known as Book of the Dead, also known as To Hell and Back, also known as Giggity Giggity Wooka Woo, also known as Big Daddy Kane, also known as Don't Touch Me There, I'm Sensitive.
From the very depths of hell and the blackest regions of the imagination, it is coming. H.P. Lovecraft's Necronomicon. The Book of the Dead.
No!
3 strange tales of the supernatural and the unearthly.
Don't push me away!
A terrifying trilogy. Inspired by the horrific works of the original master of horror himself, H.P. Lovecraft.
The secrets of the Necronomicon do not come cheap.
An amazing encounter.
Why are you doing this to me?
In the realm of lurking fear and unspeakable horror that will take you to hell and back 3 times over. Be there when the fabled Necronomicon unleashes his ancient, deadly secrets. To walk upon the earth once again. 3 nightmares calculated to keep you sleepless forever. You are not alone. Necronomicon, starring Richard Lynch, Bruce Payne, Belinda Bauer, David Warner, Signe Coleman, and Jeffrey Combs as H.P. Lovecraft. Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead. See it if you dare.
It's coming!
All right, guys. I'm confused.
Is the trailer that never ends.
Charles, I'm confused. I didn't see Bruce Campbell in that one time.
He should be in that movie. This is the prequel, guys.
The prequel to Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like this movie a lot,
Charles
though.
was just... we were talking about how hard this movie has always been to get a hold of and to watch.
Yeah. There's a 3-disc set out of Germany that's really freaking awesome that came out earlier this year. That's already really hard to get. That one was the best set ever done for this. So we don't get it here, of course.
I wonder what the holdup is with this movie in particular, because it, like I said, it's always been, a weird one to get a hold of.
I can tell you guys, it's not streaming. There's never been a U.S. Blu-ray or DVD release. The only you can get this movie is to import it. You can't buy a streaming copy. You can't get anything of this movie. You have to import this movie. And really, it's a great movie. It has 3 fantastic directors doing the stories in this. Brian Usna did the wraparound and one of the segments, and we mentioned him earlier. He directed Return of the Living Dead 3. Christoph Gaines did a segment called The Drowned, which is really good. And Gaines is a super talented director that hasn't done very much. He did 2 other great movies, Brotherhood of the Wolf and the first Silent Hill movie in 2006. I really enjoyed that one. And one of my favorite directors, people may not be familiar with, is Shusuke Kaneko. Shusuke Kaneko is he's a superb Japanese filmmaker that I think everybody should get acquainted with if they can. He did some other horror stuff. He did a movie in '91 called My Soul is Slashed. Really fantastic movie. And he directed 3 absolutely phenomenal Gamera movies in the 90s. It was a reboot of that series, and it was like its own little trilogy. Freaking amazing. He did Death Note in 2006. This is a really phenomenal director. I think everybody should check out. I mean, really, if you're not big into the Gamera Godzilla movies, the 3 he did are really, really fantastic. But other than that, My Soul is Slashed and Death Note and Haunted School 3 are 3 movies he did that are, my God, great movies.
Yeah. And this movie is worth tracking down too, I think.
It's worth buying a recent free player and trying to get the Germany. The Germany version went out of print almost immediately. Like, they had so much overwhelming response. And you could get one, but it's already like $50-$60 to get one.
Wow. Well, a lot of good actors in this. David Warner, Richard Lynch, Jeff Combs.
Oh yeah, Jeff Combs. Richard Lynch is such a great actor. He's so creepy. I don't care what he does, just the way he looks is always so creepy. I love him so much.
Yeah, me too. All right, so that was the last film on our list of 1993. Besides,
Oh, it was a struggle. It was a struggle, guys.
Yep, it was a struggle tonight, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
All right.
We do still have honorable mentions to do, so let's do that. Everybody hang in there, and we'll be right back while we watch the honorable mentions for 1993.
All right.
Tim Thomerson, Tracy Scoggins, and Melissa Bear.
Pop goes the weasel.
Doll Man versus the demonic toys.
You'll love it. It's really gonna tear you up.
It's a real Ed and his dead mother.
Why the heck aren't you speaking up for us? Why let this man talk to us like this?
They took him.
He is gonna sleep.
Man's best friend.
Featuring the monster from the man behind Aliens and Jurassic Park. Starring Amy Dolenz, Steve Canale, and Roger Clinton. Pumpkinhead 2.
I am with you, Puppet Master.
Puppet Master 4. The Birth of Decapitron.
Master of horror. Comes an extraordinary tale of terror.
Join us.
Jimmy Smits, Marg Helgenberger, Joanna Cassidy, Stephen King's The Tommyknockers.
All the hits, all the time. Blockbuster Video. We're taking you to the movies so you can bring the good times home.
Tonight, one of man's most powerful creations is going totally out of control. Paul Reiser,
The computer is trying to kill me because my ID card is bent?
Definite bug in the system.
The Tower.
The Tower, a science fiction thriller where modern technology goes horribly wrong and leaves a man fighting to stay alive. Fast-paced thrills and spills in The Tower.
Where are you?
We're all alone now.
Carol Kane, Charles Durning. When a stranger calls back.
Spirits can step through.
We'll free you. Brace yourself for a journey into the future
What the hell do you want from me?
of fear.
You can't kill me. I'm already dead.
Witchboard 2. The Devil's Doorway.
You will suffer dearly for this.
Your video store carries a wide selection of films, adventures, dramas, mysteries, comedies, classics, and children's fare. Don't hesitate to ask your video retailer for suggestions. In addition to the movies you already know, he can recommend many lesser-known films you're bound to enjoy. Remember, great entertainment awaits you, weekends and weekdays.
Whoop, whoop,
All right, Blockbuster Video. So I did learn that Amy Dolenz was a hot property in 1993 because she also did Pumpkinhead 2.
Pumpkinhead 2, the Return of the Pumpkins.
That's right, the Return of the Head of the Pumpkin.
That is right. Perfect.
So what do you guys think? Was 1993 a great year or a mediocre year or a bad year? I don't know. Please let us know. Give us your comments on YouTube in the comments section when the video's over. Let us know what you think. So since we had a lot of issues tonight, Charles and I want to reward everybody. What in the hell's going on over there, Charles?
Look, man, there's a freaking gremlin here. His name is Steve. I don't know what the hell Steve's doing. Get out of here, Steve, you son of a
There you go.
bitch.
Well, we want to reward all of you guys with a couple of extra goodies tonight on the giveaways. So for whoever is still there, let's give away some stuff. Charles, do you want to go first?
I got a couple things here. So I'm going to give away a Spanish all-region import of Fright Night Part 2 on Blu-ray. This is a good one. It's actually not released in the U.S. So
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Region free?
it's actually region free. Region A, B, and C. So it's playing all regions.
So
La 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 la. This is brand new. I've been saving this for a special day. This is actually a good one. This is a really great copy of this. So, boom.
All right. What are we going to do to give that away, Charles? Let's do it.
First person who could tell me a movie from our 1972 year in horror list.
1972. So the first person on either platform to tell us a film from our list of 1972 horror films. Hendershot said Chainsaw.
Nope. It's a little early.
Nope.
Couple years off.
Who do we got? This is 72. J.D. Smith, Digi Artist, said Last House on the Left.
Yep. Last House on the Left was released in 1972. So, this is JD won this.
Sweet.
Unopened, region-free Blu-ray of Fright Night Part 2. Good one to have.
All right.
Boom.
So, J.D. Smith, Digi Artist, got Last House on the Left. Mr. J.D. Smith, Digi Artist, if you would message us on Frightmare HQ, and that's on our Facebook page for Frightmare HQ. Give us your address so we can get that out to you.
And if you don't have Facebook, you can email me at charlesgoes@frightmarehq.com.
There we go. All right, so I got something. I will give away a signed autograph from Kathleen Kinmont.
Ooh, cops do it.
Cops do it? How do cops do it, Charles? From Halloween?
They do it. They do it really good.
Cops do it really good. Cops do it with
Really?
handcuffs.
With handcuffs.
That's what I'm going to
You
say.
should know that. You should
So
know
the
that.
question to win this, Charles,
Uh-huh.
is who played Michael Myers in Halloween 2? Just give me one name. Who played Michael Myers in Halloween 2? And that is, I'm going to say Behind the Mask.
The man behind the mask.
Make sure you answer
It was
with...
wasn't it Donald Pleasance? Did he play Michael Myers?
Todd
I
Lewis
shot him 6
got
times.
this.
I shot him 6 times.
I shot him 6 times. Todd Lewis got this one. We had a bunch of people answer, but Todd was the first. He wrote Dick W. Rick. Dick W. Rick. And then he corrected himself. It's Dick Warlock. So, congratulations, Todd Seeley.
Yeah, Todd Seeley.
And I got that mixed up. It was actually Todd Seeley got that. He said Dick W.R. Lick. So, I'm going to say that was correct. It was just a flip up. So, Todd Seeley, you got it. Good job. Sorry, I said Todd Lewis, but I got mistaken or got mixed up because you both are named Todd. So,
too many
actually,
Todds, man.
It was Todd Seeley.
And then I'm going to give away a copy of Waterworld from Arrow Video too. Their giant,
sweet
Ulysses box set. This is actually really cool. This has got like the 3.5-hour version of Waterworld, which is fantastic. It actually is a really good copy. Beautiful transfer of Waterworld. I love Waterworld, so. The Ulysses cut is awesome. It's a longer version. So if you want to win this beautiful, thick Waterworld, tell me I'm one of the movies on our 1988 year in horror list. 1988.
1988, Charles. I'm watching here. I'm watching to see who comes up first. Todd Lewis said Battlefield Earth.
Woo! I wish. Todd Lewis wins a copy of Battlefield Earth on VHS.
JRE says Nightmare on Elm Street 5. That was the first answer.
That is
Next
not
one,
88.
Next one was Richard Nettleton. Child's Play.
That is right.
Boom.
All right, Richard. You're the proud owner of the 2-disc Waterworld Arrow Video special release, restored from the original film elements, including the 3-hour version of Waterworld called the Ulysses Cut. Actually, it's 3 hours and 18 minutes long. It's a beautiful movie. It's all
Sweet.
yours.
What do we miss in the Ulysses Cut if we don't see that version?
You miss about an hour and 20 minutes of plot and character development that makes the movie almost unwatchable in the regular version.
Okay, there you go. Well, I heard the regular version was unwatchable anyway, but
this the Ulysses Cut's kind of funny because before Arrow brought this out, finally, there was so many people bootlegging it, and it was really crappy because the only way you could get it was, again, made for TV. The TBS version of Waterworld was the longer version, almost the completely version. So people were bootlegging it. So finally, Arrow got a hold of it and gave us a true like a 2K scan from the original film negative. So worth it.
So there you go. Arrow Video to the rescue again. Thank you, Arrow. Woo! So I also want to say thank you to everybody that stuck it out with us tonight. Tonight was a weird night for the show. I want to apologize to everybody for the weirdness that was going on, but sometimes it happens. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did, though. I did enjoy tonight. It was really cool hanging out with you guys.
It was a great night, guys. Again, apologize. As I said before, we don't really know what the hell we're doing most of the time. We just like to talk about movies. So that's kind of how it is. So you want to stick it out with us? We'll have a great time and watch some movies. So that's what we do. We talk about movies. And, thank you to everybody. Want to do a quick thank you to our Patreons who came out last Friday night to watch Nightmare on Elm Street at the Cinemark in Dallas. That was a lot of fun. Got to see everybody. Also, Loyd had his store opening last weekend. That was a lot of fun. And Frightmare Collectibles is now live online as well. So if you want to window shop through the intrawebs, you can now do that and make purchases. Lots of cool stuff on there. Autographs, NECA figures, homeware, DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS, etc., etc.
Okay, so thank you, Stephen Burt. He super chatted us $20. He said,
Steven,
fun evening.
We don't deserve it tonight, Steven. Send it back. Send it back. We don't deserve it tonight.
Send it back. Well,
um,
everything was good. We, like Charles said, we opened up Frightmare Collectibles online. You can go to frightmarecollectibles.com and check out autographs and all kinds of stuff. Next up, we got a show on Saturday, and then we're gonna do our regular 2 p.m. show, and then we're gonna do our 7 p.m. Halloween night screening.
Yeah. So we are planning on doing shows Saturday. I have not put event reminders up. Apologies, guys, but we do plan on doing a Twitch Prime watch party Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do realize it is Halloween, and you guys may have other obligations, but we kind of asked, and we kind of got the feeling from people that they wanted us to go ahead and do a Saturday night Twitch Prime watch party, even though it's Halloween. So we're gonna do it. Why not? So I think we're going to watch Nightbreed with Downtown Travis Brown, who's going to join us. So if you're bored and you want to join us on Halloween, why not? We'll eat some candy, watch movies.
All right.
Saturday, 2 p.m. show.
Wait another second. Tommy West tipped us $9.99 through Super Chat. Thank you. We are humbled by you guys tipping us tonight.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
are. Thank you, guys. So Saturday 2 p.m. I don't know what the plan is for Saturday at 2 p.m., but we'll announce it.
I don't
We'll get something
either.
going.
I have been furiously trying to work on getting something together for Saturday at 2 p.m., but I think a lot of people have plans. Maybe we'll just come on and dress in costumes and act weird
It's
like we normally
it's
do.
Halloween, guys. It's Halloween, guys. So there's a lot of stuff going on Saturday. So we still want to do a 2 p.m. show, but we'll see what we can find. Maybe we can get a vendor to come on, get somebody to come on and talk to us. I think once we get past Halloween, we'll kind of be back to normal. It's getting cold, so most people will be home, not doing. There's a lot of Halloween events with a lot of our people right now, so we're still here.
Mm-hmm. Richard Nettleton says, "What about a Frightmare Collectibles tour again?" What? Just come out to the show, Richard. I mean, to the shop. Come on, Richard. You can do it.
Maybe I'll come out there Saturday too again. Who knows?
Maybe you will. Hey, we'll do
Who knows?
whatever.
I don't know what I'm doing.
2 p.m. at the store, we'll do it. Whatever you want to do.
Now, yeah, so thank everybody again. We'll be back for 1994, 94 and 95. they're interesting years. But we're getting through these 90s, guys. The 90s have caused technical issues and glitches, and, just think of it like this. Just pretend it actually is 93 and we're on like dial-up internet. And we're trying to bring something to you guys, and it's all breaking because of our awesomeness.
I have a good excuse for things breaking, except for the YouTube thing. But the audio issues are just because we set up another station at the shop and everything's kind of screwed up. So we got to go through and work out the kinks again. But we'll get them right. Next show will be error-free.
Yeah. Also want to remind everybody that Sunday, which is November 1st, we're going to go on live with Arrow Video at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. 11 a.m. I know that's a little more earlier than usual, but like we mentioned, it is, Arrow reps are in London, so it is 5 p.m. for them. So that's kind of the best time we could work. So we're going to stream live on all platforms for that. So Arrow comes on and kind of shows us what they've got going on, etc. So we'd love to have you guys join us on Sunday. It's not too early. You got enough time to recover from your drunken Halloweenness to join us on Sunday and talk with Arrow Video.
Mr. 80s asked, are you guys going to do a year of horror movies from 2000 to 2010? Well, is that what you want? If that's what you want, we'll do it.
You guys want us just to continue into the 2000s from here? I don't care.
We could. We could do that. We're here for you guys, whatever y'all want.
Yeah, so FrightmareCollectibles.com. Also, we have the FrightmareHQ.com, which you can buy swag from us if you want to. That helps support the show. I also sell VHS tapes out of there, so if you like VHS, go there and look. I literally add stuff every single day to that store for VHS, like every day. So I come across a lot of random VHS. It's kind of strange what's out there, but there is a lot. But also, Loyd has VHS too at Frightmare Collectibles. I know it's kind of confusing, but that's how we do things here, guys. We're just a confusing bunch.
We have VHS. That's all we're saying. We both have VHS. You
We
need
have VHS.
We got it.
We got it. No joke. Because if it's not on Frightmare Collectibles, it may be on Frightmare HQ. I don't know. Look at both of them. Who cares? They're all out there.
Richard Nettleton. Oh my God, this is funny. He goes on Twitch. He says, "After that, do shows about movies you think will be made in the future."
Oh, you want to play a game?
He wants to play games, man.
You want to play games? I can do that. I can do Year in Horror 2033, and I can literally program 15 movies that do not exist and make them sound real.
The Horror Geek Film Review said, me and Tara would love a Universal Monsters 1940s review, please. Okay. I'm down for that at some point.
I've got a nice extensive knowledge of like early 30s to late 40s Universal. I studied that for a while, as much as I could. So,
Chrissy Gilliland says y'all should do the 60s next.
right.
Then we got Meredith Petrie says Leprechaun 31. Yeah, we'll get to that for the future movies.
Guys, we're gonna do a Leprechaun special. All the Leprechaun movies, and I'm gonna explain each one of them to you, how each Leprechaun is different, where they come from, what they're about. Leprechaun, the true story. It's coming soon.
It's going to be a 6-part, 4-hour per episode documentary.
Yeah, it's 24 hours of Leprechaun. So
there you go.
And I think I'm going to binge it. I'm going to do the whole thing 24 hours straight. I'm going to come on.
There you are. That's what we're going to do.
All right, so guys, we got a busy week coming up. Saturday, 2 p.m. show like normal. Don't know what we're going to do. We'll come on and figure something out. Join us if you can. It's Halloween, so if we don't see you guys, have a great Halloween for that. We're on Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Twitch Prime Watch Party of Nightbreed. Again, I know it's Halloween, so if you guys can join us, do it. Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Arrow video. And then next Wednesday, Year in Horror. But I'm going to put up Facebook reminders on our events page for Frightmare HQ. And I'll have those up. I think there's already one up for Arrow. So we'll make sure we get everything else up for you guys.
Awesome.
That's
All
it.
right. Well, that's it, guys.
I'm out of wine. I drank
That's
this bottle
it for-
of wine, so I'm out.
It's time to end. All right. Well, guys, that was it. That was 1993, the Year in Horror. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. We had a good time. You have been watching Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer. Oh, excuse me.
Lloyd,
and I'm here with
what
the
is-
amazing Carlos Tutorberry. Carlos
I'm
Tutorberry.
Carlos Blueberry.
You're the
Hi,
Tutorberry.
guys. I'm Carlos Blueberry. You may remember me from such films as Leprechaun 19. But enough about me. Let's talk about Frightmare HQ.
Peace out, guys. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.